Hello guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to the channel. Season 3 Reloaded is going to be dropping later today, and we're going to be covering everything that you need to know about what to expect in ranked play when the new update actually launches. We're going to be covering things such as potential new maps, movement changes, combat record, and a bunch of other things that you can hopefully look forward to in today's update. If you want to know about anything else related to multiplayer or any of the new Warzone ranked play information, you can check out the link down below, which will have patch notes for both. But yeah, as I say, we're going to be focusing on multiplayer ranked play in today's video. So the first thing I want to say is that they have added a new map generally to multiplayer, not necessarily ranked play. It's called Haven. It looks promising. It looks like a relatively fun, somewhat 3-lane map. And from a layout perspective, obviously I haven't played it yet. It's too early. The update's not out. I believe it seems to be a good map. Now, the reason I'm mentioning it in today's video, even though today's meant to be just about ranked play, is I'm hoping that they add it as a test, similar to what they have done for Grind, similar to what they did to Barrage. I'm hoping they add Haven in as a test so that we can see how it plays in the competitive map rule set environment. Okay, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Look at the image that I've had on screen. Do you think Haven seems competitive worthy? The next thing I'm going to focus on is movement fix. So you can now slide to prone when you have hybrid or tap to slide settings. Originally this was broken in the season 3 update, where you could no longer slide to prone when you have the hybrid and tap to slide settings enabled. They fixed that. Happy days. We can go to being absolute movement kings all of a sudden again. So that's a good change. I like that. As I say, I'm going to be giving my opinion on all the changes in today's video, but I want to know yours. Let me know down in the comments what you think of today's patch. It is just mid-season, so it's not going to be full of new content, but hopefully it keeps it fresh enough and brings updates that we've wanted for a while. There's a couple of weapon changes, as I say, that don't affect ranked play. The C9 has been adjusted and it is mentioned in the patch notes, but it is only related to a certain magazine and that we don't have access to in ranked play. So although you might think the C9 has had a buff because of what it says, it doesn't. We don't have access to the magazine in multiplayer ranked play, so it is completely irrelevant. But I just wanted to cover that for to sell any sort of potential confusion. Small thing they've managed to fix in today's update is they've addressed an issue where only the first player, when playing control, whoever gets on the zone first, they will be the only one that gets the score for the capture as well as the capture stat on the leaderboard. They are fixing that, however many months into having control in the game mode, where any single player jumping on the objective will now get the score for capturing the objective as well as the stat saying, yep, they've captured a zone or at least a tier on control. So people are going to be rewarded more for that sort of playstyle than they would have been done before, which is good. It hopefully incentivizes more people to jump on the objective and stack the point more, I hope. They've addressed some cases where explosive damage could be hit through walls. Now, I'm sure all of us have been in the situation where you've been on the floor below, where you know a grenade has just landed, you can hear it above you, and somehow it's just killed you for the floor. Supposedly, they've fixed some cases where that can happen, so there's going to be less frustration when that occurs in Black Ops 6 ranked play. Now we have the juicy stuff. Yeah, this is where I want to hear your thoughts. So the rejoin feature is now being added to Black Ops 6 ranked play if a player disconnects after the match has already started. Now the players will have 5 minutes to rejoin, and teammates will receive a reduced SR loss if a match-made teammate rejoins but they lose the match. Now, something I really want to emphasize here is that it's a match-made teammate. If you're in a quad stack and one of your teammate disconnects and you lose the same amount of SR as you would have if you just lost without your teammate disconnecting. This SR adjustment is primarily for those of you who may be solo queue, or you're in a trio stack and the player who's playing solo disappears, comes back. If you're playing with someone who you're not partied up with, they disconnect, rejoin, and you still lose, that is when you're going to get the benefit of an SR reduced SR loss for that loss. What I do like, though, it gives you a chance to rejoin, try and get the dub, yeah, hopefully it works as smoothly as Warzone works nowadays. I think that works pretty well. But yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm hopeful. I think it should have been in the game a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I'm happy we've got it right now. Next thing they've addressed directly relating to ranked play is they were adding a combat record. Now, we've already had a combat record throughout Black Ops 6 history. Obviously, no Call of Duty game is complete without a combat record, apart from one, which we're not going to mention. But yeah, it will track stats as would any combat record, which is going to be really nice. You're hopefully going to be able to see what your strong maps are, which could maybe help you veto the right maps when you get to have your map selection. It will show you what guns you're beneficial at, and it will hopefully give you an idea of where you can improve more. And for those of you who are a part of this channel, this whole channel is about trying to improve yourself, having stats, and hopefully detailed stats about guns, maps, game modes, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully we can make better decisions and be better players using what we learn from stats. It's hopefully going to highlight some maybe weaker areas for us all to focus on and improve upon. It will also include SR history of your most recent 10 matches. So you'll be able to see last 10 matches I got XXX amount of SR, and you'll be able to actually see what you've done differently in those games to see what determined specific SR gains or losses. Although that's not strictly how it works, it might be useful for you to maybe see some sort of pattern over the last 10 games of how you've been performing. Next thing is they've addressed an issue where players could intentionally or unintentionally live ping enemies in ranked play. Now, live pings were already part of multiplayer, like regular multiplayer, regular Warzone, and they were restricted. For some reason, they were unrestricted, and now they're going to be re-restricted. So live pinging should not be a thing within Black Ops 6 multiplayer ranked play now, which is going to be good for those of you who are playing console, because I believe there was a way in which console players could hack or cheat using the live ping function, because they could get this AI to follow the live ping and shoot below the live ping, whatever it is. I don't know how it works, but apparently that live ping restriction is going to benefit console cheaters, or not benefit console cheaters. It's going to benefit console players who come across console cheaters. And the final thing I want to address today is the change in map pool. Now, some of you are probably already aware of this if you've jumped on ranked play this morning already. The two maps have been taken out are Barrage and Grind for both game modes. So Barrage was in for Control and Hardpoint, it's now in for neither, and Grind has also been removed as after the test. And I don't think the test went down well, it's not going to happen, but I hope that doesn't cause them to not test new maps. I think they want to test Haven, I think they should test Haven, but those two maps didn't work. I don't think they were very popular. So they're removing them. They have also swapped Rewind Hardpoint for Protocol Hardpoint, which is a really interesting move. I think keep both in ranked play. Let the pros play whatever they want, but Rewind and Protocol probably do both have a place in ranked play, but it's going to keep it fresh. Rewind Hardpoint is fun. For those of you who aren't sure how to play it and you want to know the spawns and how you can read the spawns, I will also link a spawn guide, which we did for when it was part of the map pool originally, as a hardpoint map down below, for you to check out and maybe learn a little bit more, be ahead of the curve, and load into Rewind Hardpoint, somewhat knowing where the spawn points are at least. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. As I say, it's a Rewind Hardpoint. It's exactly why I've put the Rewind Hardpoint, because it's returning. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Crimson's on their heels. Hit them hard. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secured. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint identified. Perfect execution. The Pantheon's probably pissing
Damn
themselves
right.
right now.
Mess with the diggers, get your ass buried.